Good evening and welcome to the 2020 Manchester Journal Bennington Banner Regional All-Stars Sports Gala. I am Fred Rutberg, the proud publisher of the Manchester Journal and the Bennington Banner, and now I'm honored to welcome you to our virtual gala. The High School All-Stars celebration is very special to us at the Banner and the Journal. Indeed, we start planning this year's event right after last year's ended. For me, the opportunity to take time out to honor the extraordinary achievements of so many special young women and men is one of the great joys of my job. When the coronavirus turned our world upside down, the easy choice would have been to cancel this year's gala and start planning for 2021. After all, we miss the feeling, the electricity in the air as parents, coaches, friends, and athletes gather to cheer the accomplishments of these extraordinary young people. And by the way, if you want to add to the celebration, we encourage you to share this video on social media. We also questioned, how can we have a sports gala when we have to leave out all the spring sports? But I, along with our editors, sports departments, and sales staffs, decided that this time, when so much has been taken away from the youth of our communities, especially the class of 2020, the show, although somewhat different, must go on. And the show will also include some surprises and cameos from sports celebrities. This year, like every year, we could not put on the show without the generous support of our sponsors, Bennington Subaru, Southwest Vermont Healthcare, and the Olin Scott Fund. And I want to thank them not only for their support, but also for the enthusiastic way they jumped in behind our plan to substitute a virtual gala for the live one. But frankly, we probably would have taken a pass on the virtual gala if it were not for the fact that we had lined up such a generous host and MC for this evening's event. Someone who was eager and willing to adapt to the times. That flexibility should not come as a surprise to his Bennington County neighbors and friends who know about his affection for this community. I'm old enough to have seen him pitch for the Minnesota Twins against the LA Dodgers in the 1965 World Series. 3 times. I was living in a National League town, so I was rooting for the Dodgers. And in 1975, he was traded to my hometown Philadelphia Phillies. So decades later, our paths crossed, albeit vicariously. During a long major league career, he accumulated a host of impressive statistics, beginning with 283 wins, which places him 31st on Major League Baseball's all-time list of winners. His baseball longevity makes him one of the few major leaguers to have played in 4 separate decades. But what best qualifies him to headline tonight's event is the way he continued to contribute and develop after his playing days were over. He went from being a star pitcher to an Emmy Award-winning broadcaster and an author. Indeed, he's still pitching. I was told that my job is to toss the mic to him, and I've had this baseball in my office for several years. So with heartfelt thanks to our sponsors and friends and from everyone at the Banner and the Journal, it is my great pleasure to welcome our host and MC, a true all-star himself, 3 times if you're counting, your neighbor and good friend, Jim Cott.
Thanks, Fred. I'm Jim Cott, and welcome to the Bennington Banner and Manchester Journal's 2020 Regional All-Stars Award Show. We're here to celebrate the hard work and dedication of our region's best young athletes from the region's high schools, Arlington, Burton, Cambridge, Hoosick Falls, Long Trail, and Mount Anthony. And I want to first take a moment to congratulate and thank the athletes we're honoring today. We're here because of you. Thank you for enriching our community and for making your schools and your families and friends proud. They've seen all the hard work you've put in getting to this point, and they know all the hard work you're putting in now and will put in years to come. Speaking of them, let's take a moment to thank the parents who raised you, the coaches who have guided you along the way, the educators who have been there to support you. All of their hard work and dedication makes the future brighter for you and all of us. We're honoring more than 60 of the region's top high school athletes and coaches in 19 different sports as selected by the editors and writers of the Bennington Banner and Manchester Journal. And later in the program, we'll reveal the All-Stars top honors for the 2019-2020 season, the Coaches of the Year, the Teams of the Year, and the Athletes of the Year, whose achievements clearly were above and beyond. And stay tuned for a surprise tribute honoring this year's unsung heroes. So let's kick off the Bennington Banner and Manchester Journal's 2020 Regional All-Star Award Show with the fall season, all the MVPs, players and coaches of the year in football, soccer, field hockey, cross country, volleyball, golf, and mountain biking. Congratulations to all of you.
Football. Most valuable player, Joey McCoy, Burr, and Burton. McCoy, the Gatorade Player of the Year, led BBA to its first ever Division I state championship in 2019. Through the air, the senior quarterback completed 61% of his passes for 2,561 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. On the ground, McCoy led the team with 762 yards rushing and 13 touchdowns, as BBA averaged almost 50 points a game. He was just as strong statistically on defense, leading in tackles with 88 and defending a team-high 10 passes. Offensive Player of the Year, John Morgantini, Burr and Burton. Morgantini had a season for the ages in Vermont football in 2019. Playing receiver in Burr and Burton's spread offense, he caught 64 passes for a record 1,335 yards and 23 touchdowns. His per-catch average was 20.9 yards, as McCoy targeted Morgantini almost 100 times during the year. Defensive Player of the Year, Logan Morgan, Burr and Burton. Morgan had a nose for the ball all year long from his linebacker position. Morgan had 69 tackles, the second highest total on the team, and led the team with 6 interceptions, returning 4 for touchdowns, 2 in the same game against Mount Mansfield. In the state championship game against St. Johnsbury, Morgan had an interception to stop a comeback attempt. Coach of the Year, Thomas McCoy, Burr and Burton. McCoy took over for longtime coach Jason Thomas and had the task of moving up to Vermont's biggest division as a first-year coach. But McCoy passed the test with flying colors, leading the Bulldogs to a 10-1 record and the team's first ever Division I state crown. The team's only loss came to St. Johnsbury in October, and by the end of the season, McCoy led the team to the championship in a 47-20 win over the Hilltoppers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, players, coaches, and staff. First, I'd like to congratulate everybody here, showing a lot of heart, dedication, and sacrifice to their sport. Now, coming from Tamarack High School to RPI to Virginia Tech to the Pittsburgh Steelers, in Japan for the Elecom Kobe Finals, to the Albany Empire, and back home to the Southern Vermont Storm. Those qualities take you a long way, trust me. Now, congratulations on your award, but just remember, your career isn't ending, it's just the beginning.
Boys Soccer. Most valuable player, Lewis Whalen, Arlington. Whalen was the leading scorer for an Arlington team that went 13-4-1 and reached the Division IV state championship for the second year in a row. Whalen scored 24 goals on the year and had 9 games where he scored multiple times. He had 4 goals in a win over Bellows Falls and 3 more in a playoff victory over Long Trail. Offensive Player of the Year, Jaden Bloom, Burr and Burton. Bloom was a catalyst behind Burr and Burton going 10-6 in 2019 and earning a playoff win in Division I. He scored 12 goals on the year, including 4 in a win over rival Mount Anthony and 2 in the team's playoff win over North Country. At the end of the season, Bloom was named a first-team Southern Vermont League All-Star in the A Division. Defensive Player of the Year, Colby Wilkins, Arlington. Wilkins was the top defender for an Arlington team that reached the Division IV state championship game for the second straight season. The Eagles allowed only 25 goals on the year, an average of 1.38 goals a game, and pitched 7 shutouts. Wilkins was named a Southern Vermont League All-Star in the C Division at the end of the year. Coach of the Year, Todd Wilkins, Arlington. Wilkins led the Eagles to a 13-4-1 mark and a second straight state championship appearance. The team started the season 4-1, including a 4-0 win over Division I Mount Anthony in the opening round of the John James Tournament, and beat one of the top teams in Division 4 in Riverdale in overtime. Arlington has gone 25-10-1 over the past 2 seasons. Girls soccer. Most valuable player, Grace Pincus, BBA. Pincus led Burton to an 11-4 season with 23 goals, which was more than half of the team's total of 41 on the year. Pincus scored multiple goals in 6 of the team's games, including 4 in a win over Mill River and hat-tricks against St. Johnsbury, Brattleboro, Leland and Gray, and Rutland. A senior, Pincus will play soccer at the University of Massachusetts Amherst next fall. Co-Offensive Player of the Year, Lila Ward, Arlington. Ward moved from her natural position, defense, up into a striker position and was one of the more prolific scorers with 23 goals on the year. The Eagles went 11-6, reaching the state semifinals in Division 4 for the 3rd straight season. Ward had multiple goals in 8 games, including 7 goals in 2 playoff games against Richford and Blue Mountain. She was named to the first team in the Southern Vermont League's D Division. Also Co-Offensive Player of the Year, Molly Sanderson, Long Trail. Sanderson was the engine for the Long Trail girls soccer team this season, scoring 19 of the team's 33 goals for the Division 4 Mountain Lions. She scored multiple goals in 7 games, including hat-tricks against Mount St. Joseph and Twin Valley. She also helped the Mountain Lions pull a playoff upset with a win over Danville. Co-Defensive Player of the Year, Carol Herbert, BBA. Already a 3-year varsity starter, Herbert, a junior, backstopped the Burton girls soccer team to an 11-4 record and a number 2 seed in Division 1 in 2019. She had 5 shutouts and never allowed more than 3 goals in any game. The team allowed only 16 goals on the year and averaged just over 1 goal a game. Herbert was named the first team goalie on the Southern Vermont League All-Star team. Co-Defensive Player of the Year, Emma Salem, Mount Anthony. Salem, a senior, led Mount Anthony's defense to the tune of a 1.43 goals against average in 2019. Other than outliers against CVU and Essex, the MAU defense didn't allow more than 2 goals in 14 of the team's 16 games. Salem was named a first-team Southern Vermont League All-Star at the end of the year. Salem will attend Middlebury College in the fall and major in biology. Coach of the Year, Mark Boudreau, MAU. Boudreau led the Patriots to a 10-6 record in 2019, the coach's 5th winning season in a row, leading Mount Anthony girls soccer. The Patriots won a playoff game for the 3rd straight year with a victory over Spalding. The win was part of a 7-game streak during the season that included wins over rivals Brattleboro, BBA, and Rutland. At the end of the season, he was chosen for the Southern Vermont League's Top Coach Award. Field hockey. Most Valuable Player, Katie Crabtree, BBA. Crabtree, only a freshman, led Burton with 9 goals in a year with the Bulldogs reaching the Division II semifinals. Crabtree had a hat-trick in a win against Division I champion Bellows Falls and had a pair of goals in a shutout over Rutland. She also scored in the team's playoff victory over Spalding. Offensive Player of the Year, Emma McCart, Hoosick Falls. McCart, only a freshman for the Panthers, scored 10 goals and added 9 assists as Hoosick Falls fell in the sectional semifinal to Schuylerville. McCart had multiple goal games against Glens Falls and Salem Cambridge and added assists in 8 different contests, including a pair against Greenwich in early October. McCart was named an honorable mention with Sarin League All-Star at season's end. Defensive Player of the Year, Hannah Callan, BBA. Callan was the rock in the cage for the Bulldogs in 2019, leading them to a 9-7 record and a Division II semifinal appearance. The Southern Vermont League Honorable Mention had 5 shutouts to her credit and had 6 games where she made at least 10 saves, including a high of 27 in a 3-2 overtime win over Otter Valley early in the year. Coach of the Year, Barb Maselli, BBA. Maselli led Burton to its 3rd straight semifinal appearance in 2019. Taking a team with no seniors, Maselli guided them to a pair of wins over four-time defending champion Bellows Falls and finished the year with a 4-game win streak before the team's defeat to Otter Valley in double overtime in the Division II semifinals. BBA ended the year with a 9-7 record.
Hey guys, this is Jake Benzinger, offensive lineman for the Arizona Cardinals and former 3-sport athlete at Mount Greylock. I just want to let you guys know that even though we haven't been able to have a spring season or get together for the All-Star Gala, I wanted to know that your accomplishments have not gone unnoticed. And I want to extend my congratulations for you guys having a great career and/or season and to keep those dreams moving forward. The best way to do that is to stay on your grind throughout the quarantine. Throughout stay at home, do whatever you can, find whatever way you can work out, take your game to the next level. And you might have to put the car in neutral, do some car pushes, find any way to work out you can, but you won't regret it. And take this time to train hard, stay healthy, stay safe, and hold down the homestead. Thanks, guys.
Cross-country running. Boys Runner of the Year, Asa Burroughs Crane, MAU. Burroughs Crane, a senior, led a young Patriot squad coached by Amanda Mullen in 2019. He was consistently in the top 10 for most of the season, including a third-place finish at Willow Park and a fifth-place finish at the BBA home meet. He was 45th overall at the Vermont State meet at Thetford Academy. Girl Runner of the Year, Liara Foley, BBA. Foley, who has been a force on the local cross-country scene for years, was the cream of the crop in 2019, winning events at Mount Anthony's Willow Park, Burr and Burton, and Rutland, sometimes by more than 30 seconds over the field. At the end of the season, she was 9th overall in the Division II state meet and a Southern Vermont League A Division All-Star. Volleyball. Co-Player of the Year, Amber Metcalf, MAU. Metcalf, a senior captain, led the Patriots against a tough Berkshire League schedule. She made her impact on both sides of the ball, including a high of 22 digs in a win over Monument Mountain in October, and 17 digs in a game against Pittsfield and Wacona in a 5-set loss. Also against Wacona, she added 11 points, 2 aces, and 5 kills. She'll attend Franklin Pierce University in the fall. Co-Player of the Year, Alice Roosevelt, Cambridge. Roosevelt, a senior middle hitter for the Indians, led Cambridge volleyball to qualify for its first postseason berth in 2019. She had 15 kills against Spa Catholic, then added 10 kills, 4 service points, and a pair of aces against Waterford. Against Berlin, she racked up 9 blocks in her best defensive game of the year. The Indians ended the season 11-10, falling in the Class D playoffs to Hartford. Roosevelt is the salutatorian and is going to Yale University in the fall. Golf. Boys Golfer of the Year, Matt Smith, Hoosick Falls. Smith helped propel the Panthers to a perfect regular season at 14-0 and finished 7th at the Section 2 qualifier. He, along with Matt Bloomer, led Hoosick Falls to the team's first CD championship since 2016 and had a pair of second-place finishes in the qualifiers. Smith qualified for the state championship, which was canceled due to the coronavirus outbreak. Girls Golfer of the Year, Allison Hathaway, Hoosick Falls. Hathaway had a perfect 8-0 record as she helped the Panthers win both the Wassaran League title and the CD championship in 2019. As the only female in the field at the Wassaran League Championship, she shot a 99 to push Hoosick to the title. In the girls' sectional match, she was 10th out of 47 competitors and became an alternate for Section 2 of the state championship, canceled due to the coronavirus outbreak. Mountain biking. Co-Rider of the Year, Leah Mowry, BBA. Mowry was a senior leader for the Burr and Burton mountain bike squad. Mowry finished 2nd at events at Proctor Academy and Woodstock and added a podium finish at Cardigan Mountain School in New Hampshire. She helped BBA to a team win at Franklin Falls in the Northern New Hampshire Mountain Biking Championship with a third-place finish. Co-Rider of the Year, Harriet Dahlstrom, BBA. Dahlstrom led the way for the Burr and Burton mountain bike team, winning the A division at the championship event at Franklin Falls back in October. Her win in 1 hour, 26 minutes and 15 seconds propelled the team to a victory in the title match. Dahlstrom was also third in events at Proctor Academy and Woodstock before a win at Cardigan Mountain School.
Right now at Bennington Subaru, financing as low as 0% for 63 months on the new Ascent, Forester, Impreza Sedan, Legacy, and Outback. That's right, financing as low as 0% for 63 months, plus no payments for 90 days.
And remember, Bennington Subaru is part of the Autosaver Group, which means you get the best price period and the big deal plus for every vehicle.
Start shopping today at BenningtonSubaru.com.
Welcome back. Now let's move on to the winter sports season of the Bennington Banner and Manchester Journal's 2020 Regional All-Star Award Show, when we honor the MVPs, players, and coaches of the year in basketball, wrestling, bowling, hockey, indoor track, Nordic skiing, swimming, alpine skiing, snowboarding, cheering, dance, and unified basketball. Let's get right to it. Congratulations, everyone.
Boys basketball. Most valuable player, John Kempf, Hoosick Falls. Kempf had a monster season in 2019-20, scoring more than 27 points a game as the Panthers reached the Class B sectional semifinals. He had 9 games of more than 30 points and was in double figures in all 23 games. The Regional All-Stars MVP last year as well, Kempf, a senior, was 4th in Section 2 in scoring, 5th in field goals made, and 1st in free throw shooting. Offensive Player of the Year, Gavin Johnson, Mount Anthony. Johnson, a junior, averaged better than 16 points per game for Mount Anthony. After an injury early in the year, most nights Johnson was the spark for the Patriots, including games of 31 against Hoosick Valley, 22 in a win over Otter Valley, and 21 against Springfield. The high flyer punctuated lots of offensive possessions, with jams firing up the Kate's Crazies student section. Defensive Player of the Year, Tristan Williams, Hoosick Falls. Williams was the big man in the middle for the Panthers, using his 6'5" frame to either block shots or alter them, making a trip into the paint a miserable one for opponents. Williams was also a tough rebounder, forcing teams into a single shot opportunity. The play helped Hoosick Falls to a 19-4 mark in 2019-20 and a sectional semifinal appearance. Offensively, Williams averaged 16.4 points per game. Coach of the Year, Mike Lilac, Hoosick Falls. Lilac, the boys' basketball coach of the year for last year's Banner Journal All-Stars, led the Panthers to a 19-4 record in a tough Class B field in 2019-20. As part of that record, his team upset the #1 team in the class, Catskill, and reached the sectional semifinals at the Glens Falls Civic Center. Lilac, who has been the boys' coach since 1996, is closing in on 400 wins for his career. Girls basketball. Most valuable player, Sophie Phillips, Cambridge. Phillips, the Offensive Player of the Year last season for the Banner Journal Regional All-Stars, averaged 17.4 points per game for the Indians, who went 22-1 and won the Class C sectionals for the 3rd season in a row. In 3 playoff games, Phillips upped her game even more, leading the Indians to wins by at least 24 points, including the sectional final against Maple Hill, and was named the New York State Class C Player of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, Logan Thane, Hoosick Falls. Thane, a senior, continued to rewrite the Hoosick Falls girls basketball record book in 2019-20. She averaged 23 points a game this season and broke the school record for points in a career, finishing her time at Hoosick Falls with 1,722 points. Thane also broke her own school record for points in a game in back-to-back games, racking up 40 against Berlin, then 41 against Mount Anthony a week later. she'll play at the University of Albany next winter. Defensive Player of the Year, Grace Mahar, Mount Anthony. Mahar, a senior, was the leader for a Mount Anthony basketball team with a new coaching staff in 2019-20. She made it happen on both ends of the floor. Defensively, she set the school's all-time rebounding record, recording nearly 1,000 career rebounds in breaking her sister's mark. Offensively, she reached the 1,000-point milestone against Rice and averaged more than 20 points a game. Coach of the Year, Bob Phillips, Cambridge. Phillips led Cambridge to a 22-1 record in 2019-20 and a third straight Section 2 championship. The Indians were well on their way to defending their Class C state title before the season was canceled due to the coronavirus outbreak. Phillips, the Banner Journal Regional All-Stars Coach of the Year last season, had 4 players make the All-State squad in Class C, including Sophie and Lily Phillips, along with Stacia Epler and Fiona Mooney. Wrestling. Lower Weight Wrestler of the Year, Keegan Kuhn, Mount Anthony. Kuhn, a senior, earned his 200th victory this season, becoming one of only a handful of Mount Anthony wrestlers to achieve that mark. He won a 3rd Vermont State crown, this year at 138 pounds, and placed 4th at the New England Regional Tournament, his 3rd time placing at the regionals. At the end of the year, Kuhn was named an Honorable Mention All-American by Wrestling USA magazine. Middleweight Wrestler of the Year, Adam Frost, Mount Anthony. Frost, another senior for the Patriots, won the 100th match of his career at the Vermont State Tournament in February, was a captain for the Patriots, and propelled them to their 32nd straight state championship as a team. Individually, Frost won the 160-pound Vermont State crown, his first title. He also won the Lowell Holidays and had a season record of 43-5 and a career mark of 102-27. He'll attend Trinity College in the fall. Heavyweight Wrestler of the Year, Sam Wilkins, Mount Anthony. Wilkins became the 10th ever 4-time state champion in the state of Vermont this season, winning the 195-pound state championship. He added a 2nd New England title in March, edging his Granite State challenger in the ultimate tiebreaker in the final. Wilkins was an honorable mention All-American selection by Wrestling USA magazine and won the Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award, and he'll attend Castleton University in the fall and wrestle for former MAU coach Scott Legacy. Coach of the Year, Brian Kuhn, Mount Anthony. Kuhn kept the tradition alive at Mount Anthony, leading the Patriots to their 32nd straight Vermont State Championship, edging out runner-up Essex in February. He had 6 individual state champions, then added another individual New England champion in Sam Wilkins in March. Kuhn led the Patriots to a 3rd-place finish at the Lowell Holidays, and then at New England's, the Patriots finished 4th overall, the best since a runner-up finish in 2018. Bowling. Bowler of the Year, Evan Webster, Hoosick Falls. Webster, a senior for the Panthers, helped Hoosick Falls to a perfect 13-0 team record and a 60-0 point record in 2019-20. Hoosick won the Wassaran League tournament with a come-from-behind run that included a 299-726 series from Webster, then propelled the Panthers to a 2nd-place finish in the Class CD sectionals, leading the team with a 634 high series. Ice hockey. Boys Offensive Player of the Year, Joey McCoy, Burr and Burton. McCoy was a captain for the Bulldogs, leading them to a 14-9-1 record and a Division II semifinal appearance. The senior, who was named a Rotary All-Star at season's end, had hat-tricks against St. Johnsbury and Union 32 during the season, and big days against Brattleboro, combining for 2 goals and 4 assists in 2 meetings. In the quarterfinal against 2-time defending champion Woodstock, McCoy scored the winning goal with 1:41 left to send BBA to the semifinal. Girls Offensive Player of the Year, Stella Turner, Burr and Burton. The junior, who was the Offensive Player of the Year for the Banner Journal Regional All-Stars a year ago, was the leading scorer for the Bulldogs in 2019-20 and a first-team All-Star for coach Ed Lewicki. As the calendar turned to 2020, Turner opened up the scoring with goals in most games after the new year, including the winning goal in an upset of Division I rival Rutland. Boys Defensive Player of the Year, Ethan Simons, Burr and Burton. Simons, a senior, led the Burr and Burton boys hockey team between the pipes for all 4 years of high school. A Rotary All-Star this season in net, he had 3 shutouts and a save percentage around .900. He also managed to come up the biggest in the biggest games for the Bulldogs. In 3 games against 2-time defending champion Woodstock, Simons allowed only 3 goals and only 1 during the regular season. Girls Defensive Player of the Year, Penelope Kilo Francombe, BBA. Kilo, a junior, was one of the top defenders for the Bulldogs this winter. She led a defense that allowed only 2 goals or fewer in 9 games, which allowed BBA, a team with no seniors, to stay in almost every game this season. Francombe was also one of the top scorers for Ed Lewicki this season, as she had the ability to move around and play multiple positions on the ice. Indoor track. Boys Track Athlete of the Year, Isaiah Brunache, Mount Anthony. Brunache, only a sophomore, put his stamp on the throwing events this winter in indoor track. Brunache won the shot put at Dartmouth and the Foothills Championships against New York schools, then finished second at the Vermont State Meet with a PR of 46 feet, 5.75 inches. In weight throw, he was only lower than third in one event, was second at states, and set a PR of 51 feet, 3 3/4 inches at the Foothills Championships. Girls Track Athlete of the Year, Rebecca Crozier, MAU. Crozier, a senior, matched her amazing junior season with 3 more individual Vermont State Championships at UVM back in February. She was first in the 300 meters, setting a school record, won the 55-meter hurdles with a personal best, and then was first in the long jump, winning the event by more than a foot over the field. She was also second in the 55-meter dash, setting a school record with a time of 7.61 seconds. Nordic skiing. Boys Co-Skier of the Year, Jack Drew, Mount Anthony. Drew, a senior, led the Patriots to a runner-up finish at the state meet, following up the state championship of a year ago. In 2019-20, Drew was consistently at the top of the results, finishing in the top 6 in both classic and skate disciplines at the state meet at Reichert Touring Center. He won the Southern Vermont League Classic Championship, then finished third in the skate. Drew will attend Montana State University in the fall and major in exercise science. Boys Co-Skier of the Year, Logan Sands, Burr and Burton. Sands led the Burr and Burton ski team to a 4th place finish at the state meet in Division II. Sands was a top 10 skier all season, with a 6th place finish in the individual classic event at States, a 5th place finish at Prospect to begin the year, and a 4th place finish at Wild Wings Touring Center back in January. Girls Co-Skier of the Year, Sarah Umflett, MAU. Umflett, a senior, led the Patriots to a 4th place finish at the state meet and was consistently in the top 3 finishers at just about every meet during the winter. She was 3rd at Mountaintop in January, then added a runner-up finish at the Brattleboro Outing Club. She won the individual classic race at Wild Wings for the Southern Vermont League crown. Umflett will attend Connecticut College, where she'll run cross-country in the fall. Girls Co-Skier of the Year, Leah Mowry, BBA. Mowry, a senior, was the top skier for Coach Isabel Caldwell's Bulldogs. She was second in both classic and skate disciplines at the Southern Vermont League Championships and won races at Mountaintop and Brattleboro Outing Club. She finished the year with a 6th place finish in the classic at the state meet at Reichert Touring Center. Swimming. Boys Swimmer of the Year, Anthony Mazzola, MAU. Mazzola, a senior, led an undermanned Patriots swim team and was a key member of the squad. Including the relays, Mazzola's top events were the 100-yard breaststroke and the 200-yard individual medley, events that he won against a tough Berkshire League schedule, with wins against New Lebanon, Waucona, and Pittsfield in the 100 breaststroke. Against Taconic Hills, Mazzola scored wins in both events. Girls Swimmer of the Year, Grace Burhans, MAU. Burhans, a junior, has been swimming for the Patriots for 3 seasons and has cornered the market for success in not only the sprint events of the 50-yard freestyle and the 100-yard freestyle, but also has dipped her toe into the distance events. Against Taconic Hills, she won both the 50 free and the 100 free. But against Monument Mountain, Burhans gave the 500 free a shot and won it. She was an all Berkshire League swimmer last season.
Hi everyone, I wanted to take the time to congratulate you all on being named as High School All-Stars. That is awesome. I know we've been dealing with some difficult times over the last few months, but I think we can take it as an opportunity to challenge ourselves to be better people. Use what you've learned over the past few months and use what you've learned through sport over the years and challenge yourself to be the best version of yourself. Congratulations on being an All-Star. That is an awesome accomplishment and I'm really proud of you.
Alpine Skiing. Boys Skier of the Year, Michael Duddy, BBA. Duddy, a senior, finished his high school alpine career with top 10 runs in most of his events this season. He won the Dave Pinder Memorial at his home course, Bromley Mountain, ripping off 2 second-place runs to get it done. He was 6th at a meet at Okemo, leading Burr and Burton, finished 8th overall individually at the Southern Districts at Pico, and 11th at the state meet at Suicide 6. Girls Skier of the Year, Francesca Levitas, BBA. Levitas came onto the scene in a big way in 2019-20. The sophomore won the Dave Pinder Memorial at Bromley Mountain, then added a 3rd at Suicide 6 and a 5th at her home course Bromley in February. She added a 5th in slalom at the state meet at Suicide 6, helping the Bulldogs finish 2nd overall as a team. Snowboarding. Boys Snowboarder of the Year, Griffin McFadden, BBA. McFadden, a junior, ranked in the top 3 of all 3 disciplines that the state hosts for its championship. He was 3rd in the giant slalom, tied for 1st in the slopestyle, and 1st in the halfpipe. At the state championship at Okemo Mountain in March, he led the boys to the title, finishing 1st in the halfpipe and 2nd in slopestyle. Girls Snowboarder of the Year, Hannah Cowan, BBA. Cowan, a senior, helped the Bulldogs finish 2nd as a team at the state championships in 2019-20. In 2 events at Bromley Mountain, her home course, she ripped off a pair of runner-up finishes to lead her team. At the state meet at Okemo, Cowan won the giant slalom race by more than 7 seconds, was 3rd in the halfpipe, and 6th in the slopestyle to lead BBA to the runner-up spot.
Hello, student athletes and coaches. Congratulations to all the graduates and the student athletes out there. I'm Andy Newell, 4-time Olympic skier from Shaftesbury, Vermont. So proud to consider you all part of the Vermont athletic community. Vermonters are so tough. We can really accomplish anything we put our minds to. Congratulations on a great season. Moving forward, these skills you learn as an athlete will really help take you anywhere and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. Remember to train hard, continue to have fun, and support one another. See you out there.
Cheer. Cheer Athlete of the Year, Kiana Gauthier, MAU. Gauthier, a senior, propelled the Mount Anthony cheer squad to its 4th straight New England appearance this winter, an event canceled by the coronavirus outbreak. The Patriots finished 2nd at the Central Vermont Cheerleading Championships, and then a few weeks later, scored a 2nd-place finish at the state tournament in Division I, the team's best finish since 2013, and its first runner-up in D1 since 1995. Dance. Co-Dance Athlete of the Year, Alexis Roby, MAU. Roby, a senior, led the Mount Anthony dance team as one of 3 seniors this season. At a meet in Colchester, the Patriots ended up with a pair of podium finishes, third in hip hop and second in pom. At Burn-Burton, Mount Anthony won the pom division. Roby will be attending Suffolk University next fall, majoring in psychology. Co-Dance Athlete of the Year, Shea Squilante, BBA. Shea, the only senior on the squad, led the Burn-Burton dance team to podium finishes in both the jazz and hip-hop disciplines in Division II in 2019-20. At Colchester, BBA was third in jazz and fourth in hip-hop, and at Middlebury, they were third in hip-hop and fifth in jazz. BBA had another third-place finish at the South Burlington event. Unified Basketball. Co-Players of the Year, Kyle Dooling, BBA, and Phoebe Fuller, BBA. Dooling and Fuller were heading into their second season on the Burn-Burton Unified Basketball team before the spring season was cut short by the coronavirus outbreak. Unified Basketball is in its fifth year as a sport in Vermont schools in a joint partnership between Special Olympics Vermont and the Vermont Principals Association. The two seniors were getting ready to represent Burn-Burton against the rest of the state.
Folks, it's an honor to introduce the next segment of the Bennington Banner and Manchester Journal's 2020 Regional All-Star Awards. It's when we announce the Coach of the Year, Team of the Year, and Male and Female Athletes of the Year. Who are they? Let's find out. Congratulations to you all.
Special Awards. Team of the Year. Burn-Burton Football. Coming into the 2019 season, BBA would move from Division II to Division I, the largest division in the state of Vermont. Before the season, the team also changed coaches, making the move that much more difficult. But Burn-Burton started out its new charge with a bang, winning the first 5 games of the year, outscoring its opponents by 28 points per game. After a loss to St. Johnsbury, they finished the season with 5 straight wins and averaged 50 points a game, including in the championship against the Hilltoppers. Once again, our team of the year is the Burn-Burton football team. Coach of the Year. Thomas McCoy, Burn-Burton football. McCoy had an unenviable task. Take over for a coach who had won 2 Division II state championships in the past 4 years and won 72% of his games in his decade at the school. At the same time, that success would move the team to Division I, the highest division, to face some of the best in the state of Vermont. With that backdrop, McCoy, with his son leading the way at quarterback, passed the test with flying colors, leading the Bulldogs to a 10-1 record and the team's first ever Division I state crown. That championship came in a 47-20 win back in November and avenged the team's only defeat. The Coach of the Year, Burn-Burton's Thomas McCoy. Male Athlete of the Year, Gavin Johnson, Mount Anthony. Johnson was going to play 4 sports this year, but was only able to do 2 when the spring season was canceled. In football, Johnson was a leader for Mount Anthony and set records for touchdowns in a season, 8, and in a career, 17, only as a junior. At times, he looked like a man among boys, ripping past defenders from his wide receiver spot. In basketball, Johnson averaged better than 16 points per game for MAU. After an injury early in the year, most nights he was the spark for the Patriots, including games of 31 against Hoosick Valley, 22 points and 15 rebounds in a win over Otter Valley, and 21 against Springfield. At season's end, he was named as a Southern Vermont League All-Star and as a part of the Vermont Basketball Coaches Association's Dream Dozen, a group of the top underclassmen in the state. Female Athlete of the Year, Rebecca Crozier, Mount Anthony. Crozier was a leader on and off the field in both of her sports this season. On the soccer field, she led the team in scoring with 8 goals, including multiple tallies against Essex and Spalding, the latter in the team's playoff victory in October. Where she really showed was in the winter. Crozier matched her amazing junior season with 3 more individual Vermont State Championships at UVM back in February. She was first in the 300 meters, setting a school record, won the 55-meter hurdles with a personal best, and then was first in the long jump, winning the event by more than a foot over the field. She was also second in the 55-meter dash, setting a school record with a time of 7.61 seconds. Our female athlete of the year, Rebecca Crozier from Mount Anthony.
I'd like to share a few things with you that have been important to me in my life and in my career, and they may be helpful to you no matter what career path you take. One is curiosity. Coach told me early on, kid, you're going to pitch for a long time if you don't hurt your arm. I said, why? Because you're curious, you ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions of those who are doing what you want to do, how they got there, how they achieved success, what would they do differently, what might they do at all. I think today there's a lack of asking questions of people who have been very successful doing what we want to do in the future. So be curious. Be humble, humility. One of my favorite lines, a sportscaster in Minnesota, back when I was listening to sportscasts on radio, would close with this line. I'm Al Shaver saying, when you lose, say a little, when you win, say less. Pretty good advice. Another one is be accountable. Sports teaches you to be a good teammate. You're going to make mistakes. Admit your mistakes. Bear the pain. Stand alone. Tell the truth. Do what's right. Learn to lift your teammates up and encourage them, not shame them with condescending criticism. A good motto is, do your best, forget the rest. And be responsible. Make your bed in the morning. Pretty good way to feel like you've done something for the day. Be on time. My dad trained me with this motto, if you can't be on time, be early. Tom Brady was so far down the quarterback's depth chart at the University of Michigan, he only had 2 minutes in practice to run the upcoming opponent's offense. So he took those 2 minutes and treated it like it was his game for the day. Well, who's been better in your lifetime as far as NFL quarterbacks in the last 2 minutes? You know who. And your coaches next year are going to have quite a challenge. They have to re-motivate, re-energize. They're going to need your help. As well as coaching you, you need to help them. As my friend Tom Kelly, great manager of the Minnesota Twins, used to say, boys, we're all in the same boat. Grab an oar. Let's all row in the same direction. So I wish you health and happiness and success in all you do, whether it's in sports or any other career path. So we come to the point in our program when we announce our Unsung Heroes Award, which in the past have honored those who have made their team successes possible. But the spring of 2020 was unlike any other, and we realized that our high school athletes, especially the members of the senior class, were denied the opportunity to compete and the chance to pursue their goals, and for those seniors, perhaps a chance to win a championship. These have been challenging times for us all, but especially for our young players. So to all of you spring sports athletes, especially all you seniors out there, the Bennington Banner and Manchester Journal's 2020 Regional All-Stars Unsung Heroes Award goes to all of you. So from me to you, keep the faith, keep practicing, keep playing, and look to the future. I'm Jim Cott. So long, everyone.